Hello, folks. This is Garlic with the Living Medicine Project, and I wanted to make this video today to talk about the sit spot practice. I'm not sure if this is a term that you have heard yet. It's becoming more and more common. I hear more and more people talking about it in some form or another. For me, it's a term that I learned from the Eight Shields community and the work of John Young, but it has spread far and wide beyond that. And yeah, this morning I've been sitting in this spot here for about 40 minutes, just listening to the birds and letting go of my thoughts. And I'm reminded of an old Buddhist expression that says, "Don't just do something, sit there." And so I wanted to make this little video to introduce this sit spot practice to folks in my community, my audience who haven't come across this yet. So, and if you have come across this, maybe I do it a little differently than you, and I would love to hear the way that you do it and how what really works for you. But basically, how I understand the sit spot and how I practice it is that I come to the woods. It's got to be someplace convenient. That's the first tip. Someplace that's within a couple of minutes of your house or your workplace or something. The place where I'm sitting here is about a 3 or 4 minute drive from where I drop off my youngest at his forest school program. And so 3 days a week, I come straight here and I just sit for between 30 and 60 minutes until I feel that calm inside. Even here, I had the idea about a half hour ago to shoot this video, and I needed to stick with the practice. I needed to just let go of all of the thoughts and just stick with the practice. And here's the practice as I do it, is I work on cycling through the awareness that I have and the focus that I have on my senses. So the first thing that I find most useful is to notice sounds. So I ask myself the simple question of what is the quietest sound that I can hear in every direction. And I started to play a little game that I notice I now have adopted. So anytime I'm feeling stressed or anxious, I do this as well. But I actually try in both directions to listen at the same time. So what do I hear to the right and what do I hear to the left? And then I hone in. What's the quietest sound I hear in each of those directions? And it's so powerful to notice how the mind chatter just totally drops. It's such a powerful pattern interrupt from whatever you were thinking or whatever you were doing to just ask yourself the question and shift your focus to what are the sounds around you. And so you can go through the 4 directions around you, or the 8 directions, or the 10 directions if you include above and below, however you want to do it. But then also notice what you smell. It can be easier to close your eyes when you're doing the smelling and the listening. But I encourage you to open your eyes and look around and see what it's like where you are, This is a practice of really noticing, especially if you're going to the same place every day, even if you're just sitting on your front porch or in your backyard. Notice the little changes. See if you can pay enough attention that you notice that the wind blew a leaf 6 inches, or maybe a squirrel moved a stick or something. I mean, maybe you'll just notice that it's gone. You won't know why. And that, of course, is actually a really potent place to be. Okay, I'm going to shift gears here so that you guys I don't have a tripod here, so I'm just holding this, and I don't want it to be too jittery for you. And then taste, taste the air. There are times I'll even taste the soil, or take a good, handful of soil and really just smell it to get a sense of the place where I am. And then for me, there's also a practice of noticing how I feel in response to this place. So emotionally, how do I feel? How does my body feel in this place? What's my nervous system telling me? You know? And I used to meditate. I don't really officially meditate anymore. I'm not sure what official meditation would look like, but I don't sit on my cushion inside. This is how I meditate these days. And it has a very similar effect, except with the bonus that I feel connected to the living world, to the greenness, to the insects, to the birds especially, because I'm a very auditory processor. Maybe you've heard me. You can tell I like to talk. I try to shoot these 3-minute videos, and they all take 6 or 7 minutes. And so quieting and listening to the sounds really is quite profound. And so I want to encourage you to find what works for you. Which sense, start to become aware of which sense is actually your dominant, if you have a dominant, and what's the secondary one? And what can you start to do at your sit spot that helps bring you down, that helps with your regulation, and bring you down like in a good way, right? Bring you down back into your body, out of the mental chatter, into the feeling and being in the body kind of experience. Yeah, so that's my take on it for right now. If you have different take, if you have different opinion, please, post it below. If you haven't already, then I invite you to subscribe, and also check out my website, livingmedicineproject.com. I've got a new mentorship program that is just launching, and we'll be starting in early May 2021, and a lot of other stuff on the way. So you can hear about that from being on my newsletter and by subscribing and clicking on the notification bell below, so that you hear directly as I'm producing more and more content. So that's me for today. I'm Garlic with the Living Medicine Project. Thanks so much. Talk to you next time.